We have with us today our good friend Heath Mello. He is the president and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber. Stops by a few times a year just to kind of update us on some economic development issues and growth and development happenings in town. Heath, good morning and welcome back.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's always great to be with you.
Well, it is great to have you here too. And yesterday, Trent and I were talking a little bit earlier about the Commercial Real Estate Summit taking place yesterday. You closed that summit with a panel of three experts, and the topic was, all right, now Omaha metro area has finally surpassed the long-awaited goal of 1 million population. Where does it go from here? For those that couldn't go to the conference, you want to give the 60-second synopsis?
60-second synopsis. It was a quick victory lap in the sense of us hitting that million resident milestone, but really it was where is economic growth opportunities for us as a metro region. And we had three great panelists, Bill Torson, the CTO from Scott Data, Amy Thompson, campus director of campus development from UNMC, oversees the Edge District, their innovation district, and Michael Young, the managing partner of Grit Road Partners, oversees a lot of ag tech venture capital. And all three of them in their respective spaces really focusing on AI, med tech, and ag tech, really focused on how is Omaha and the metro region going to become more of an innovation hub for the future, realizing that a lot of our economic growth is going to be tied to technology, our professional services, even some of what I would say are foundational industries such as manufacturing is going to be connected to technology moving forward, and we're going to have some unique opportunities to grow different sectors connected to those sectors moving forward.
How do you think we're positioned for that? I mean, when I sat through that panel and thoroughly enjoyed it, and we heard terms like med tech, and we heard the term artificial intelligence a great deal, and Bill talked about how we're so well connected, but of course we have some other challenges too. When you think about being the chief economic developer, if you will, of this area, how are we doing when it comes to being prepared for that technology explosion in business, and what do we need to do still?
Well, I think that question, Jeff, is kind of was the premise of what we announced, I would say, earlier this year around AI and how the chamber can start to position the region to really be a leader in the AI space. We announced a partnership with Scott Data to really initiate how we can really, I think, put more AI at front and center with existing companies by giving them some free resources, some free workshops, some partnership integration with Scott Data. For folks who don't know, Scott Data is a data center, technology center that was founded by Walter Scott about 25 years ago, and really be able to utilize their high-powered AI technologies for the good of Omaha's economy. Simultaneously, what we're also identifying and seeing is not just giving our own Omaha business community this resource of all of this AI technology and training and knowledge, but it's also we're seeing our ability to recruit AI companies that want to come to Omaha. And I think that's the unique synergy that we're seeing is giving this opportunity to our existing employers, but also these new companies that are saying, hey, I want to be close to a region that is really leaning in this space, that's not afraid and not fearful of what AI is doing to different sectors. And we're starting to see a little bit of fruits of that labor over the last couple of months.
And I think that's great. And I think Walter Scott certainly was a visionary, and that was one of the fastest computers back in the day. And I assume they've kept up over the years. But we live in a world where AI is growing faster than anybody thought probably. You got Mark Zuckerberg with Meta offering $1 billion to the most creative minds in the world. We can't do that, but we could do. And we're a community with a lot of unbelievable stakeholders, philanthropic organizations and foundations. And what I'd like to see is, it's great that we have a $400 million beautiful park, and we need parks, we need concert venues, we need educational opportunities. But what we really need, and kind of the theme of the day throughout the CRE Summit was, we need bodies, and we need to retain people. And the mantra was, I thought it was good. Mary Ewing said, stay here, and I think we need to build on that. But I would love to see some of the heritage Omaha, some of the other people look at it and say, okay, maybe when we're recruiting these top talent, and it may just get them over the top, is maybe it's a $25,000 forgivable loan. You come to Omaha, which brings family and kids, and people stay here and grow talent here. And if you're employed here and you pay taxes here for 4 or 5 years or something, that loan is forgivable. Mm-hmm. And has anybody approached the chamber on incentives like that? And because we're very competitive with other markets.
Trenton, you're stealing some of my thunder I was going to talk about later. So you're hitting a home run right out of the gate, which is, we talk a little bit about, we've been talking about this the last 4 or 5 months, which is, how do we make Omaha more competitive overall in the talent attraction and business attraction space? And when it comes to the talent attraction space, there's two things. One, we're going to be launching what we call a back to the future kind of initiative, what we kind of say, kind of trying to recruit people back to Omaha who are from Omaha, realizing that they haven't been in Omaha for 10 years. They haven't been in Omaha for 15 years. They're in an age range between 30 to 39 that we're trying to recruit them to come back as a boomerang, where we feel that Omaha is a different community than it was when they left college or when they left from high school, because we know that population challenge is still a very real issue, and talent attraction is very, very important. The other aspect, though, is a public policy initiative that we've been working on called Omaha Competes, which is really trying to flip the script a little bit in terms of what we're going to have to do when it comes to public policy in what Trent just said, talent retention, as well as talent attraction. Other states, other cities have really been very aggressive in their ability to attract new people to their communities and retain people in their communities. They've done that through loans. They've done that through forgivable. They've done it through forgivable payments to housing stipends. They've done it through a variety of different efforts and initiatives that, candidly, we just don't do in Nebraska. We don't do in Omaha.
And it's not for lack of ability either.
No, it's just that it's something that we've never really looked at our economic development programs and incentives through a people lens. And so part of our Omaha Competes effort is really trying to look at the talent component of economic development so that we can fill those talent gaps and those talent needs the same way we're out trying to attract businesses and helping businesses grow. We're looking at that workforce talent component the same way.
We're talking with Heath Mello, President and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber. Heath, the last time you were on the show, it was spring, so it's been a little while. And since that time, we've had a couple of epic announcements affecting Omaha business. One of those, the more recent, was the Union Pacific Norfolk Southern merger that'll create America's first true transcontinental railroad. And fortunately, Omaha is going to be the headquarters of that combined company. Some thoughts on this merger and what we as a community and an economy can do to really capitalize on it.
Jeff, I will tell you, I use the word historic every time someone asks me about the Union Pacific Norfolk Southern merger, because I think it's incumbent upon not just me and the chamber, but everyone in the business community to reinforce how amazingly big this opportunity is for the Omaha region and for the state of Nebraska. We'll never see a deal of this magnitude in an industry like this in our lifetime again. The largest merger of this kind in the transportation industry ever. And to have it happen here in Omaha, Nebraska, just saying that out loud for people, for listeners at home, to grasp that is truly unbelievable. And yes, when you talk about an $85 billion merger between two well-known transportation companies, having Union Pacific call Omaha home, keep calling Omaha home, is something that we have to continue to reinforce and to really share that with more and more people. But I emphasize that the biggest issue is truly what opportunities may exist for us moving forward. And I think that is the biggest thing that that excites me at the end of the day is when you're able to see something of this magnitude occur. It's It's ensuring that you're supportive of a company like Union Pacific. This is going to take a little bit of time, and they've been very clear that there's a process, and they're gonna want to make sure they remain great community stewards during this process. They need the business community's support during this process as well. The overall Greater Omaha community support during this effort. And so for us to keep reminding everybody, this is something that just doesn't happen. You don't typically see, this occur in a lot of folks' lifetimes. And so I just want to reinforce that there's a lot of opportunity that will happen over the next few years, but just trying to reinstill that optimism and that excitement day in and day out for people. Because, when we just to throw this out there, after a merger of this magnitude, to think that Omaha literally will become the epicenter of transportation in our country and the businesses and the industries that will come out of that, just to think about the economic development opportunities that could come from there is limitless. And I mean, it's truly like to think about that, of all of the potential transportation industry companies and opportunities, research, things that would come, that would follow a merger of this size is truly unbelievable.
And on top of that, you got Burlington Northern Santa Fe's parent company, Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire Hathaway located here as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly amazing.
We've got Heath Mello here today, President and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber. And in the last segment, Heath, we talked about two epic business announcements. One of them was the UP Norfolk Southern merger, since you were on the show last. The other one is Warren Buffett stepping down as CEO. Obviously, that's a big deal for Warren, and we're grateful for everything he's done for our community. But selfishly, we're also like, hey, what comes next for Omaha after the Oracle of Omaha moves into the less influential day-to-day chairman's job? So, Heath, your thoughts on Warren and Berkshire Hathaway?
Well, I think it obviously it's an unbelievable honor to have an American titan of business call Omaha his home, the way Warren Buffett has done for so many decades. And I think when we all look back at that Berkshire weekend when he made that announcement, it really reinforced how fortunate Omaha has been for so long to not just to host the Berkshire shareholder meeting for years, to bring in so much to the Omaha area, to highlight what is happening in Omaha, as we kind of called it, Omaha being like the Woodstock of capitalism in terms of what he has been able to do and highlight and show the world in terms of what's happening here. I think we clearly believe and feel that Berkshire is going to continue to have their strong headquarter presence here. Greg Abel, it's been shared, while located in Des Moines, is going to be commuting back and forth, between his residence there in Omaha. In terms of he's got a high school student, a son that's going to be starting high school. And is going to see him through his high school there in Des Moines. He's a hockey player, and so to some extent, he wants to continue kind of that existing arrangement. And as a community, we're going to do everything we can to be as supportive as possible of Greg and his transition, and to reinforce why Berkshire calls Omaha home. And
it's poised for the future too, which is nice.
I mean, I think that's something that we'll continue to do as the chamber. That's going to require the two of you and a host of other folks in the community to reinforce that as Berkshire starts to move into their next chapter.
Well, and Jeff and I are willing to do our part to step it up.
Thank you, Trent. That was exciting and big news. And then, while we're on the topic of Fortune 500 companies in town, 2 weeks ago, we talked a lot about Mutual of Omaha on the show when Jason Landahaw was with us. He being ahead of the company that is developing the Mutual Tower and will be developing the current Mutual campus when they leave it to move into their beautiful new tower a little over a year from now. So, Heath, let's talk about that. We love skyscrapers. We love skyscrapers on this show. A little bit of topics, thoughts, comments on where Mutual is right now with their tower construction and what you hope to see with their current Midtown campus someday.
Well, I think everyone who drives anywhere near Midtown or downtown sees the progress being made with Mutual's new headquarters tower. Excited to see that start to get finalized as the tallest and the highest building in Nebraska. I think we're very, very excited to see that continue to occur. In terms of their campus redevelopment there, that the Atlanta Hall Development is currently looking at and working on. I think the opportunities, with the work the chamber does in terms of business attraction for the region, being so close in that proximity to UNMC, Nebraska Medicine, the ability to create, kind of that healthcare innovation space, is really unique. And that kind of expansion of a potential corporate healthcare is really something that is unique and something that we may not have a lot of other space to be able to do in the region. And so I know Jason and his team are looking at a lot of great ideas. For all practicality, we want to be as helpful as possible in terms of some of their big ideas and some of their big visions for that space. But I think when it comes to industries, med tech and really the future of healthcare is one of the core industries that we see a lot of growth potential in the region. And with their potential, Midtown Forward development being so close to the Med Center, it feels like there's a real prime opportunity to see some unique synergies with the research and some collaboration there.
It sounds like they're going to do their best to use some of the existing buildings, which is great. And you got the iconic dome, which has about 3 stories underneath it of office space too, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. But I think it's in good hands, and I think that location, the infrastructure there, there's parking there, and that could come online pretty quickly, I think, once Mutual moves out.
Yeah, no, I think you could see some things happen relatively quickly there with the existing Mutual campus infrastructure, and then with some of the open space that's there, maybe on the west side of the campus there, where some new buildings, some taller buildings could go, obviously, and create maybe a different skyline in that space. I think there's some real unique opportunities.
Well, I wanted to throw another question at you. We have time for one, maybe two. But I want to talk a little bit about urban core, since we're talking about Mutual of Omaha and downtown and all that sort of thing. Mayor Ewing recently said that he would like to speed up the timeline for the streetcar project's contribution to affordable housing in the urban core. For those people that haven't followed along with this, the funding mechanism for the streetcar is very unique, and it is way ahead of schedule right now. And there's always been a plan that eventually part of it would go towards affordable housing in the core. Mayor wants to move that up faster. Heath, your thoughts about that, and how possible is it?
It's it is really a really bold idea that Mayor Ewing put out in terms of wanting to see how the streetcar could benefit the affordable housing efforts that the city needs sooner. And so the fact that the administration was able to work with a private funder to really help take care of and buy some of those bonds early, that's not easy to do. I mean, $40 million is something that is it's the first we've been able to see this happen regarding the housing component. And as we said when this was announced, this is what makes Omaha special, in the sense of the streetcar project itself, in terms of trying to reinforce to folks the TIF financing of it makes that really unique. But the fact that we now have philanthropic funders willing to help buy some of the bonding aspects of bonds of the project to help speed up the affordable housing, essentially by give or take 7, 8, 9 years. That only helps emphasize and create more buy-in across the community of how we've said from the beginning this project was going to be transformational for the urban core. So really a big kudos to Mayor Ewing and his team for being able to help facilitate that really bold financing project.
So what he's talking about is building affordable housing, multifamily, I assume, along the streetcar tracks, or
in the urban core overall.
Okay.
That's always been part of the urban core strategic plan. that the chamber worked on. We had kind of a housing component that we also produced that shared that we have to reach that 30,000 residents in the urban core. We were going to have to create a significant number of additional housing units, and a number of them were going to have to be affordable in workforce housing units as well. So being able to utilize this funding early to address the affordable housing component, which is always the most challenging, is the affordable in comparison to the market rate. It's great that they were able to find that financing quick and sooner.
Well, Heath, we always appreciate you coming onto the show, and it always goes too fast.
Hey, I get it. Always grateful to spend some time with you both. Thank you as always.
All right, Heath Mello, President and CEO of the Greater Omaha Chamber.